All right, people, what's up, everyone, and welcome to another
My hero discussion.
anime shenanigans.
Yes, that too.
Yeah. So we are here to do episode 20 of season 3. I
Dub.
got my radio voice. Hey, hey, what's up, little
Welcome to
girls?
39.5.
Yeah,
Like,
MHA.
and
Giving you
then
all
cue
your
the
hero.
stupid sound effects that they have in their keyboard.
MHA. Radio time.
So this, we warned you last week that this week a little bit different
Yeah.
kind of episode. A lot of people kind of take issue with this episode amongst a few others, but this is a recap of sorts as well as a tie-in to the upcoming movie.
Yes.
So it's a little bit different than a normal episode, but we'll still talk about it because it is a good episode in my opinion. I don't know what Roy's opinion is, but
I thought it was good. I thought it was a
yeah.
really solid episode.
fun, enjoyable romp adventure.
I like that it was different.
Yeah.
Had a little bit of mystery in there. I mean, the mystery itself, I can say now because I talked to you about this one before. Not that I explained it to you because I don't want to spoil it for you.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about it going in. All I knew is it was some sort of like a kind of a mystery.
Yeah,
all I knew.
That's all I told him. So, and I can tell you right here, the mystery itself is pretty stupid.
Yeah, no, it was ridiculous.
Really, it's ridiculous, the entire thing. But
I actually have a funny comment to make on that later.
Okay.
But yeah, it's
yeah, it's pretty dumb. But it's still enjoyable to see something like this in My Hero, where most of the time it's fast-paced dialogue and action and all this stuff. Here it's just like we gotta figure out who murdered All Might. All Might's dead.
I will say though, and we'll dive into this in probably just a second, but the fourth wall breaks were so funny in this episode.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It went Deadpool kind of,
And
like minus the cussing.
I think that was the dub because when I watched it in
Really,
I don't think they had many of those.
okay, it was really funny in the dub. They straight up like didn't even kick around the bush. Like,
Yeah, I think that a lot of those fourth wall breaks was when characters weren't on screen. You know what I mean? Like when it was just like dialogue being played over like I don't know a wall or something. Not a wall, but you know what I mean. There's no characters like moving their mouth. So I feel like they had those scenes. They're like, oh yeah, now we're gonna have fun. Let's have characters say things.
Yeah,
And, that was fun.
And this one, the main was like when they're both. I guess we'll just dive on in.
Yeah.
Like the first thing we see in this episode is Deku and All Might wearing yellow shirts.
Yeah.
Which is kind of hilarious because Deku's immediately like, wait, why am I here? Like, wasn't I just in the license exam? Like, where are we? And All Might's like, we're here for like a brief intermission. Like,
this is a special episode. I'm gonna save the world with love. And Deku's like, hold on, man, I need to go back. I
get
my license.
I gotta pass this thing. And the dub, the way he says it's so funny. He's like, we're gonna go beyond the current storyline and into this. Like spin-off, like straight up says it like that.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Which is, I think that's pretty much the exact dialogue that was in the sub. So.
Okay.
But I like it better here because, I understood it better.
Yeah.
That's why I'm dumb and ignorant. So this one I didn't even read it. I could look at the visuals and stuff.
Yeah.
There you go.
So all my it's like, yeah, we're gonna take a brief intermission this week, and we're gonna have a special story. And then does he like straight up say save the world with love? Like,
yeah, he does say like I'm gonna save the world with love, which doesn't happen. I don't even. I guess it kind of there's love involved somewhere, but it's not
well, they even make a joke about that at the end. Like, oh, we'll get there.
Yeah.
But so yeah, that's basically it. Then it cuts to the intro.
Yeah, he even goes like, all right, get to the intro. And he like swipes the screen.
Which I loved. I was just laughing. I was like, you know what? We get a lot of serious episodes. I'm fine with like this filler or it's just funny. Like,
yeah, it was a fun little like just a break between the action because last episode ended with the Squirrel Squad and it's like, oh no, what's gonna happen?
My reaction's only been up for a couple hours, but so far the feedback has been pretty much the same. They all kind of liked the filler. Yeah. But I can't speak for all the fans. I'm sure there are people who are upset. Like, where's my Gang Orca battle? And like, or not Gang Orca, but whatever happens after the arc.
They play chess.
Yeah.
That's all. Have a nice little civil conversation.
Yeah, people get assassinated too.
Yeah, people get assassinated. Of course, you gotta have at least one assassination.
Yeah. All right.
Episode.
Do you want to handle the first scene?
Sure. All right. The first scene, actually, maybe you should because. All right, I'll do it. It's fine. All right, because I didn't really exactly understand this because it is. By the way, this episode is definitely a tie-in to the movie.
Oh, you're right. I should probably say this part.
Sure.
So I'm in an interesting position. Most people who have seen this episode haven't seen the actual movie, so I can kind of gauge how well they tied in this anime show with the movie. And I'll just say without spoiling anything, this is actually kind of a funny, not funny, but a really cool, insightful thing. When All Might walks in the classroom and Miss Midnight and Cementos are in there, like, hey, look, they're showing a reel of your like highlights throughout your career because obviously All Might's retired, so it would make sense. Like, it's kind of cool. It makes a lot of sense actually if the number one hero retired. If on the TV you get like highlight reels of his career, like that's actually kind of a cool touch.
Yeah, it is fun.
So they show scenes from the movie.
Do they really? Okay.
Yeah, everything on the TV is actually scenes from the movie.
Oh, okay.
And it's basically All Might in his prime. That's not a spoiler. If you've seen the trailers, you've seen images of All Might in his prime.
He does have shadow on his face, bro.
Yep,
that's him in his prime.
His eyes aren't sunken in and stuff.
Yeah.
And basically they're like, hey, look at you in your prime. And All Might's like, yeah, man, that brings back memories. And Miss Midnight makes a funny joke like, how many decades ago was that? He's like coughing up blood. Which I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, I think in the sub that joke was a little bit different. I think it was just like, oh, okay, you don't want to mention it? All right. And here it's just like, oh, don't dodge the question or whatever. It's just funny.
And then the image shows up with him in his very first costume ever, which was made by his friend David Shield, who they mentioned. And his daughter sends him an email. We'll get to that in a moment. But Cementos is like, hey, look, it's your first costume ever, which it is. And it's actually a really cool costume. He's got like a blue cape, kind of wearing silver around his boots, it looks like. And
All Might never watch Incredibles. Capes are a bad idea.
Yeah, the capes are a bad idea.
Yeah.
Thankfully, he doesn't fly, though.
That's true.
I feel like everyone who... Yeah.
Doesn't he just jump really far? Isn't that his thing?
Basically, it's like super... Like, it's like the Hulk kind of jump,
Yeah, yeah.
Where it's like,
Yeah, because he did that in the first couple episodes, right? Where he did
if you remember in the fight against All For One, he'll, like, punch behind him to make, like, an airwave so he can, like, fly forward. That's, like, one way he does it, too. So, yeah, basically all that happens, and it's interrupted by... his email alert, which is an email is here. Like, and if you remember way back when, I think it's in season 2, when he gets a phone call, he's like, a phone call is here, a phone call, which is it's just awesome.
Yeah,
I just love how like All Might's never an egotistical person, but it's funny that his email and his his phone, it's him. Yeah. That's like Endeavor saying, "I'm the best. I'm the best." Like, yeah. So that was basically the opening scene.
Yeah, it's a fun little intro. Again, if you watch the movie, this is a good tie-in to the movie. But if you watch the movie, it makes more sense. And you immediately saw the. I guess I should have figured that footage was probably from the movie too. I mean, like, why would they have that footage and not use it for the movie or use it in this episode? But it was a cool little tie-in. Then we go from there to the classmates, the UA, of course, 1A. 2A, 3A, whatever. And it's not the entire class. It's only a few students, I believe.
Basically the stars of the class.
Yeah, the ones everybody likes.
Let's be honest. It was the main people of the class who are in there. The one who gets all the spotlight.
There's no toilet paper rolls. There's no bubblegum girl. It's just it's Sue, Ida, Deku, Bakugo, Shoto, Uraraka.
Hey! Look at you learning the names.
Well, they're the stars, of course I know.
Yeah, okay. I'm still proud of you.
Yeah, I said Bubblegum Girl and Toilet Paper Roll. See, I don't know their names.
That's when you can tell they're not a main characters. When you start reverting to like their made up names.
Yeah, the color of their skin and the things they shoot out of their elbows. Like that's
even though he doesn't shoot toilet paper out of his elbows.
Yeah, I know. It looks like toilet paper.
Imagine he just like teepees people. Like he becomes a villain because his quirk's so bad. His teepees.
But you know what? That would still be more useful to me than Jiro's. So at least we can have some fun. I don't want to piss off all the Jiro people. I just like
you do.
I like it. I don't want to do it, but I do like to do it. And I don't know. Does that make sense? It doesn't, but it doesn't. But it makes me happy. So yeah, no, that. So we have a scene where Eraser is telling them like, we're gonna do a little side thing. We're gonna go and we're gonna like fight crime and stuff. Boys, get ready.
Because this is like an optional summer class you could take, I guess, for extra training.
Yeah, this is all like unnecessary filler. That's what he says. He actually says that in the episode.
This is filler. This is promoting our movie. Get out there.
Yeah, this is all unnecessary stuff. This is just to promote the movie. That's why we're bookending it and starting off with it. Yeah. And then we're just filling this up with some mystery crap. But it's fun. And then All Might comes in and is like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be the villain. You guys gonna have to like save the hostages from me, baby." And then he like flexes. And
I want to say it's really cool. I didn't realize how much I missed Buff All Might until like you see him a bunch in an episode, because he's just so funny.
He is
and funny. Like Skinny All Might has this funny moments, obviously, when he like coughs up blood or like does something
when he's internally
funny.
bleeding.
I feel like Buff All Might is always like just hysterical, like in a way.
It's the voice
because it's so over the top.
Yeah, the voice really kills me. Like, that's another thing. I don't mean to. I don't want to sound like I'm shitting on the sub. I think the sub is great, but the dub, I like All Might's voice way better in the dub.
It's just kind of warm and inviting.
Yeah, it was very warm. Where in the Japanese one, he's warm. It fits him. It fits well. It's good. I like it. I like it a lot, actually. It's great. I just like the dub better.
Yeah. We're both probably a little bit biased though, because that's the one we watch primarily.
Yeah.
So
if it was reversed, like I came out and watched the last 15 episodes in dub, then I'd probably be different. But I don't know. Yeah. So
you're seeing the movie in English, so you picked the right one.
Yeah. Hell yeah. I've watched every episode in English because I always go back to watch the newest dub. So even though I've already watched it in sub, so
I too watch the sub, but I typically wait like bigger chunks. Like I'll wait like 10 episodes and go back and watch like most of them. Yeah, because that way it's a little more fresh, like when I watch them again.
Yeah, but it's still you don't need to wait until the next episode too. You can just be like, all right. I mean, I already know what happens, but I'm gonna watch it again. Watch another episode right now because I like that stuff.
This is a small side note. I also kind of like to compare how they say things differently, because they do. Like people don't realize they kind of say things differently in different contexts and both versions, which is interesting.
Which makes me interested in the latest episode that just happened.
Okay.
I won't say anything, but I'm looking forward to seeing how the dub interprets a couple of the things that happen in the newest episode.
Because sometimes the sub is almost too literal to the manga. I've noticed, like it's almost too faithful, loyal.
Yeah.
I kind of like the liberations the dub takes. That's all I'll really say on it. But
yeah, I always like when something is based on something else and they actually do their own thing, but also keep close enough to the source.
Yeah.
You don't need to just retell the same thing. Just do something different. Which, I mean, this is a little bit different because it's, it's a manga.
Yeah.
Besides, like,
a
giant book or something.
Do you want to set up the scenario and then I'll take it away?
All right. So we have our stars, our main guys. The ones that
minus Momo, I guess. She's like the only one.
Yeah, Momo's not there. That's true. You know why Momo's not there? Because
she's too smart.
Yeah, she's too smart. Exactly. It would have made any sense if she was just there.
they got the dumbbells on the class. Deku's smart. Like he's underrated how smart he is. So
yeah, he's probably the smartest one there. That's not Momo. And Shoto's probably smart too. Actually, never mind.
Oh, Ida's smart too.
Yeah,
never mind.
Shit.
There's a bunch of smart people.
Yeah, damn it. Who's dumb? We should do top 10 dumbest My Hero characters.
Well, Denki, when he uses power too much, he's number one.
He has to be number one. That's great, though. He needs to do that more often. He hasn't. I know that he just kind of fixed that problem, but I want that to happen more.
Yeah, he just kind of raised his limits.
Yeah, which is annoying. He shouldn't have did that because that's the best part. We're getting sidetracked, but I do love the part where Bakugo shoves him in the bush and steals his money and like throws him out. Like, show him your dumb side. And he's like, show him your dumb side.
Yeah.
I could only assume that hurts. So
I'm sure he's used to it.
Yeah, he probably likes it.
Probably. Gets off.
Oh, yeah, he gets off. What a weirdo.
Anyway.
That kid's funny. But all right, so the 6 of them, is it 6? I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's 6 or 7.
So anyway, they're
but really it's only Deku. We'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Deku's the only one that actually does anything. You'll see. But all right, in the beginning, they have to figure out how to stop All Might from having all these hostages and stuff. And he's the evil guy. He's a villain. Whatever. He's pretending to be a villain, which is fun because All Might's just being like, "Get away from here! I'll kill everybody." But he's still All Might, so it doesn't really. It doesn't really work exactly. It's funny, but you're just like, oh, it's All Might. You ain't gonna do anything.
A little side note. I don't know if you actually went to go check it out yet. The first OVA for season 1.
No, I haven't yet.
But this is the same costume he wears in that episode.
Oh, okay.
Which is kind of a cool callback because that was years ago at this point.
Oh, okay. That's
fun. Really cool.
All right, awesome. Yeah, I'll be watching that. I'll probably watch those after season 3, just because. I'll be like, all right, the movie's over, season 3's over. What else do I got?
Now I got months of nothing, so
yeah. At least 4 or 5 months, 6 months, 8 months.
Which really isn't that much.
No,
you can consider other shows.
Yeah, so. I still got other shows I have to watch now too. So.
So basically, they're all like, okay, we got to assess the situation. There's cops outside. We got to go see how many hostages they have in there. And Bakugo, it's kind of funny. They don't show his face. He just scratches his head. He just closes in on his head. He's scratching. He's like, Uraka, float up there and check it out. And everyone's like, hey, what a great idea. So she's but it's so funny because Bakugo's so calm there. It's just a weird thing.
It's a weird moment,
He just comes up with an idea, a good one. And then he's just like, hey, Uraka, go check it out.
Which is weird because All Might's looking out the window, so I don't know how he didn't...
She floated over the eyesight, I guess. So
yeah. Well, by the way, her floating has become a meme now, or not a meme, but it was for a little while because when the episode first aired, I saw everywhere comparing her to Kirby. Because she has to hold her breath and she has pink. Yeah, she's pink. She has pink stuff on her, on her costume and stuff. And she's in fetal position, so she's in a form of a ball, kind of. So everybody compared her to Kirby. And I was like, funny. That's funny. That was a funny scene. She's just floating, and the animation was really good in that scene too. I don't know. It was funny, but so she has to go up there and use her hands to say. How many hostages there are, how many villains there are, and stuff. So it's actually well thought out. So it's a nice little reconnaissance. Trying to figure out what's going on, how many people. It's like Metal Gear Solid 5. You have to zoom in with your binoculars, to target all the bad guys, then go in and snipe them. That's what I do.
Oh
yeah. I don't do that. I get caught immediately. But so everything's working out fine, and Bakugo's just like.
Yeah, everyone's Deku's trying to strategize. He's like, okay, we got to find out who should we call the cops, blah blah blah. And Bakugo starts twitching in the background. You can tell, okay, he's not really having this waiting thing. He's like, I'm just gonna attack this bastard, and he just jumps out the window and blows shattered glass into this room where there's hostages, which not the smartest thing. No. But here's where the real kicker of the episode kind of starts. Yeah. So they go in and. They see all the hostages, and they look down at All Might, and there's just a blood wound on him with a knife laying on the ground.
and All Might's dead.
Yeah. And then let's see what happens next. There's a lot of kind of weird things happen all at once.
Yeah.
Let's see.
It goes by pretty quick. At this point, the pace of the show just is rapid fire. It's just we need to have a mystery, but we can only do it in about 6 minutes.
Oh yeah. I know what happens next. So this part made me laugh so hard. All Might's laying on the ground, and Sue goes over to him and just she brushes her hair against his nose. And you hear a little laughing, she's like, oh, he's fine. He's just faking it, but he's dead. Yeah. And which that comes back later. We'll talk about that.
It actually came back. I thought it'd just be a funny little moment, just so everybody doesn't freak out immediately and think All Might's dead.
Imagine
how would he be dead in the past? They kill him in the past.
So. They immediately Deku starts to take over the episode at this point. He goes in, he's like, okay, we got 3 hostages, which is Cementos, President Mike, and Miss Midnight.
Yes.
And he starts getting their stories from each and every one of them. They all match up. There's no real discrepancies between them.
Yeah, even though President Mike's doing his best
His was ridiculous. Like just
ghetto talk or something like, yo, my dudes. Yo, I was getting this bomb ass jewelry, dog. I'm like, all right.
You reminded me of remember when they put on the disguises before when Deku's like, what do you want, fool? Like
that was pretty great.
Kind of like that.
Remember the episode where, like, out of nowhere, Deku had All Might's face for a second? I still think about that.
Yeah, eat this. Like, remember he was telling about Stain's thing, like, hey, I heard Stain licked your blood. You remember what I told you when I gave you my power? And Deku's like, eat this.
Eat this. Eat this.
That was a meme for most of season 2. You weren't around for like when that was airing, but that was like the funniest thing.
Yeah, it was pretty funny when it happened.
Yeah. So you want to tackle what happens next? Kind of break down.
So this is where it gets a little jumbled. I'm not gonna lie, because they're trying to figure out who did it.
Kind of happen at once here.
Yeah. Okay. So at one point they think, all right, there can't possibly have just been one person here. There has to have been like 2 villains. Maybe one villain like got out of there, killed All Might, whatever, and got out before Bakugo blew up the wall or something. And then they found out there can't be that for some reason. I can't remember. I think Ida says like, no, the entrances are barricaded because he barricaded himself in for some reason. So there's all these like mysteries being piled on to other mysteries really quickly. Like, all right, he barricaded himself. It could have been one of the hostages. One of the hostages might have murdered him. And there's even one part where Bakugo wants to torture all the hostages.
Well, I at one point was like, oh, they all 3 murdered him. Like, because that makes sense because they're all in cahoots. Like, obviously their stories all match.
Yeah.
So
yeah, they probably all did. And that Cementos, he got shifty eyes. And they also had, in the beginning, they made it seem like he was a big fan. Maybe killed him. I mean, I know All Might's not supposed to be All Might at this point, but maybe he got sick, like, fetish from, like, thinking about murdering All Might. You never know.
Well, it's like that guy who killed John Lennon. He was, like, a big fan of him. Like, had him sign the thing, and then killed him, like, 2 hours later.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't want to laugh when I say that. I feel bad laughing. Rest in peace, John Lennon. But, it's been a while.
We didn't do it, so.
Yeah, I didn't do it.
Yeah.
Or did I?
Yeah. Well, I definitely didn't do it. I wasn't around.
I wasn't born yet.
I wasn't born yet, okay? You can't pin it on me. Stop trying to. All right? Yeah. I didn't kill John Lennon. All right? I might be Feb. I'm not him. I don't even remember his name. But,
anyway.
Mark David Chapman. There you go. I remember his name. But, all right. So there's all these mysteries. It could have been one of the hostages. It could have been another villain that was working with him. He barricaded himself in. Why did he do that? Bakugo wants to torture everybody, so that's making everything shitty. And Deku's sitting there just like trying to think of like what's the thing, what happened here. So
here's also happens briefly after this. So then he's like, wait a second, the jewelry is still here. Like he could have just taken it and left.
Yes.
And then they say something like, well, no, don't you remember like. I forgot what Edith said. He kind of like corrected him or something, but he's like, that's not that simple. And here's where it kind of gets ridiculous in a way.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think of the best way to say this. I'll say what I'm thinking. I'll say what my final thoughts are now, so you can try to understand how I'm explaining this as I go.
Right.
It's strange how Deku sort of puts all this together.
Right.
So it's
how it doesn't make any sense.
Like a lot of it's just kind of assumption. So he basically starts by saying, like, Miss Midnight, it was you. And everyone's like, wait, what? And he basically says, you were the only one who came in after All Might when the situation was already like, like a robbery.
Right.
And okay, so correct me if I'm wrong, but he basically then goes to say, like, make up this sort of love story where she, like, knew him in the past. So that's why when she saw him run in there, she called the cops then. And goes in there to try to like stop him, or like, it's okay. Forgive me for butchering this. This is a very convoluted
That's exactly what happened. He made up a story where you see pictures too, so you get to see this story happening. This love story.
They even show. I will say there's one really funny part though, because they show Miss Midnight in like some sort of hoodie. Like the sunglasses on, and she starts crying, and then it shows All Might crying, like an old school Japanese eye, sort of like crying, like
right.
something you'd see from the 80s. Like,
right.
It's really funny. I laughed at that part.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny if you think of it as not making any sense at all, and it's just supposed to be funny. Then it's funny.
Yeah. So here's the real kicker. Basically, Deku thinks that Miss Midnight when she confessed herself to him or something, that he got so emotional that he killed himself.
He killed himself. No, this is the reason why he killed himself. This is how they explain it. He killed himself because he knew if he got captured, then the relationship between him and her would be revealed, and she would have a what was the word they used?
A shadow over her life.
A dark shadow over her life. This is the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life, and it's like the worst episode of Case Closed ever. It's like
I will say though, in a weird way, it's like one of those really crappy soap operas you would see that are so bad they're kind of funny.
Yeah,
and it did make me laugh, but it's just like you see it, and then it cuts to All Might with like a bleeding stomach. And he's like, he killed himself.
He killed himself because of a woman that he may or may not have been in love with or something. But to be fair, it does redeem itself at the end a little bit.
I will just say though, I never thought we'd ever have an episode where All Might kills himself.
He kills himself because he loves someone so much. Yeah. He kills me.
Even though it was like all a fake and stuff.
Yeah, it was double fake because he was acting, and we find out that like while they're all figuring this out, All Might, the corpse of All Might, or the villain, is on the ground the entire time. And while they're figuring it out, Eraser says, "You guys failed. I mean, you figured it out. That's the
He builds it up. He builds it up like, wow, Deku, you got everything down, even every scenario that we planned out. You guys really did a good job, except you failed."
Yeah, you failed. You got 0 points. Why? Look, turn around, and All Might's completely gone.
He's just dashing down the street like, haha, I'm running to freedom.
Haha, suckers! I'm out of here! I'm not here!
It was so fun.
I wish he said I'm not here. That would have been great.
I just love Big All Might. He's so funny. Like, I don't know. My gosh.
See you later, chuckleheads! That's great.
Which kind of even more so makes the love story not matter, you know? Like, even more than it did before. Because it was not real, and it wasn't even true. Like it wasn't true. It was true in Midnight's eyes, because I think that they told her that's what it was, so she could like back to it. Right. But All Might was apparently like even a level beyond that, where he's like, no, that's a fake. The fake story's a fake. I'm gonna stay alive and use this fake death as a way to like avoid being caught.
Yeah, so, it's just great. Yeah. Which would never work in real life.
Yeah, because they'd be able to tell if you're like dead. So.
I mean, not that I'm equating it to real life, but like it's no one would be like, I guess it was true love after all. Whatever. Don't worry about the corpse that we even check a pulse for yet.
Yeah.
Nah, he's definitely dead. Look at him. He's got blood on himself. He's definitely dead.
I will mention though, during this whole segment where Deku's telling about the sad love story, and you cut to all the people who are like Froppy's crying and like Uraraka's like, oh, this is so sad. I was like, Bakugo's gonna be called a stupid, and like it cuts to him. He's like, this is so stupid.
Yeah, that was the one time where I was like, you know what, Bakugo, you're right. This whole thing is freaking stupid.
I'm like, I hope they at least make him react accordingly, and they did. So
I wish he reacted a little bit more. I mean, like in
the whole time, Bakugo realized that All Might could run away. So the second he gets up, Bakugo just like blasting him. Everyone's like, what are you doing?
He just blows his ass away.
I didn't trust his dead ass.
Yeah, he actually kills All Might.
Oh my god!
It just rewrites history.
Just grabs a knife and goes like.
This is before the All for One fight too, so he rewrites history, and we go back into the present.
Time shift in this filler episode.
Yeah.
And it cuts to All for One like, well, that sucks. I kind of want to kill myself, but all right.
All right. That would make the title of this episode even funnier, because it's called like special episode.
Saving the world with love.
Saving the world with love. All Might's dead. For good.
Yeah. Gosh.
There you go. Well, there you go. So, all right. So while he's dashing, there's one funny part. I really like that. Bakugo gets so angry, he yells so angrily that the building collapses.
Yeah, everything shatters.
Yeah, he gets so mad, the building collapses right next to him. So
which is a nice touch, because at this point, obviously, you've always heard him yell. Yeah. So this is a nice, like, even added thing where you haven't seen it before.
Yeah.
Which it makes sense in a filler episode. Like, obviously, he doesn't actually yell loud enough to break it, but in a filler episode where it's meant for laughs anyway, like just shatter.
It's funny. Yeah. It's funny. All my runs. Everybody's laughing.
So I should probably talk about the last scene.
Yeah, the last scene. I mean, I understood what was happening, but I did not get the. Yeah, you talk about. I don't know.
So it cuts to All Might deflated again, and he's like, "Wow, it's really tough keeping my form that long." And he looks kind of cool in this like shoulder pads and spikes, and he's like skinny. He looks like Mad Max, like a Mad Max character.
Yeah, right. He looks
like it looks he's like skeleton. So like, I don't know. Looks kind of funny.
He looks like the guy with the flame guitar. Mad Max Fury.
That is him. Like, if you ever watch the movie, it's literally All Might. Like, we just didn't know it at the time.
He's got like that ghoulish mouth too. So
yeah,
just wrap some bandages on his face, and there you go.
So he goes back to the computer because he never checked the email. Basically, his friend Shield, his daughter, sends an email saying like, "Hey, All Might, I hope you're well." Because this is not a spoiler, but they're like family friends in a way. They've known him for a long time. She's known him since he was kinda. So, I'll say what they say at the beginning of this episode. Basically, Shield is the guy who made All Might's first costume because like, and this isn't a spoiler for the movie really, but basically the only issue is with All Might, he was so strong, he kept breaking his costume. So right. Shield was the guy who made him one, that actually didn't break. So they've been longtime friends, and then the daughter's like, "Hey, my dad's like here on the island with me, and we're opening this scientist island to the world where we invent things, and we'd love for you to be here." Blah 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 blah.
I'm sure nothing bad will happen there.
Oh yeah, no, it's gonna be nothing but just them frolicking through fields for an hour and a half.
That's the whole movie.
Yeah,
they're happy. It's weird because I saw the trailer and there's like a lot of action, so that's strange.
I have a small complaint about the trailers. I'm not saying they spoil too much, but they focus way too much on like, I don't know, like kind of the final fight a little bit, but they don't spoil they don't spoil into the cool stuff. They just like, I don't know.
To be fair, I didn't remember a lot of the trailer. I watched it once and I was like, that's cool, but I haven't watched it again since because I didn't really want to.
Yeah, no, it's good. It doesn't spoil anything, but it's just like, okay, you guys there's like an hour and a half to work with. There's plenty of other things to show.
Yeah,
but so I kind of like this scene because like he sits back in the chair after that and he's like, it's been a long time. Like if you see the movie, it's actually really touching that she sent him an email. And then it cuts to her again. This girl name is Melanie. You'll see her almost the majority of the movie, so you'll see a whole much more about her then. And there's one last scene. You want to handle this one?
All right, this one's kind of cool. All right, so All Might, he's like, all right, I'm going to go on a trip. I'm going to go see Melanie and my boy Shield on the science planet, or Silence Island. Silence. I can't speak today. Science Island.
Silent, like just like mimes.
Yeah, it's like a quiet place. But anyway, he's like, all right, I'm gonna go, but you know what? I'm gonna bring my boy, and so he like runs, and he goes, hey, yo, he just got out of that stupid dumbass mystery thing, so he's just like, that was stupid. Even Deku's like, that was dumb. Oh my god, I can't wait to go home and do other things. He doesn't say this, but this is what I think he's thinking in his head, because that was dumb. And All Might's like, yo, boy, what's up? Hey.
Oh. I just want to add when he shows up, he pulls up the luggage. He's like, "Hey!" and like he immediately like deflates. Like
he immediately deflates. Yeah. But all right, and he's like, "Hey, Deku, my boy, you want to go on a trip?" And Deku's like, "Oh, gee willikers, All Might." Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why I always equate him to Morty from Rick and Morty.
I don't know, Rick. It's such a good idea.
I don't know, All Might. I think I'm just gonna chill here.
All Might and Rick have nothing in common.
Yeah, nothing. Not even a little bit.
They're like completely opposite people. Like one's a drunk who's always a dick to everyone. Yeah. And everyone's like smiling and like
gets people killed. All Might's like the exact opposite of Rick.
I really hope there's a Rick and Morty episode that spoofs All Might now in the future.
You know,
that is not out of the realm of possibility. I guarantee you.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Yeah,
I want to see that really bad now. I want to see Rick as All Might.
Morty's Deku. Like, why am I crying?
Why am I crying all the time? Yeah, shut up, Morty. Shut up, Deku.
Take my DNA.
Yeah, come on. Oh yeah, that would be a funny scene.
Come on, Morty.
Come on, Morty. Eat my DNA. Come on. Joe, put it in your mouth, Morty. Eat my DNA. I don't want it, Rick. Now I'll watch Rick and Morty. I miss that show.
I apologize to everyone who cut that.
If you watch Rick and Morty, you know.
If you watch Rick and Morty, it's not out of the realm of possibility.
If you watch the third episode of My Hero, then is that the one where he gives him his hair?
Yeah, I think it's like the second. I think it's like the third episode. Yeah.
Like, eat my DNA. All right, I don't want to. Really don't want this. Imagine like there's an alternate universe where Deku's like, no. And that's where that series ends. Like it just ends there.
Just goes to the credits. Yeah. Like, where the happy one where all the girls are like sitting around the field like smiling. Like, no.
No. Yeah. Oh yeah, I hated that freaking outro. I hated it so much. It was so dumb. I hate that outro. We should do like worst outros. That'd easily be my number one. The one where they're just frolicking in the field. I'm like, what does this have to do with anything? Like it could be like the most dramatic episode.
I agree. It didn't mix with like the themes of what was going on at the time because you had like Stain and you had like other things. But like I liked it by itself.
I just it was like it was at the moment when those characters meant nothing to the show too. Even Uraraka had like almost nothing to do with those episodes. She had her one episode, and then everything else is just like it was all like Deku and all the other boys and Stain and all that stuff.
That's probably the point though, because they don't get screen time in the show, so they're like, let's give them screen time in the outro.
Put them in the outro. I did like the LARPing one though. I thought that was funny. It wasn't LARPing, but it was supposed to be kind of like, you know, like an adventure thing. But it just reminded me of LARPing, I guess.
All right, so still a little more to that scene.
He's like, "Come with me. Let's go make a movie." And Deku's like, "All right."
He doesn't actually say that, but he's like, I want to show you the ins and outs of like, because you're going to be the number one hero, and there's a lot of things you got to learn. So.
Yeah, exactly. So you have to come to Cylon and learn stuff. I'm gonna learn you, boy. Come here.
I'll save this point to the end actually. So then they show the outro, and then they have a little extra scene. Hopefully you saw it. Did you see it?
All right, remind me what happened, because I did see it when I first watched it, but I forgot.
So they cut back to All Might and Deku wearing their yellow shirts in the first scene that they were at, and it's really funny because they're like, wow, that was a fun adventure, like blah 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 blah, and on All Might's like, it's like, yeah, like sorry for the intermission, everyone, but like, and then they break the fourth wall again, like, next week will Deku pass Gang Orca's test, or like whatever, because this is still the dub where we're still waiting to see what happens with the Gang Orca stuff, and like what'll happen next week, and then like, while Deku's like here, it's like right next to him, like
that's good,
and they're both like, let's go beyond plus ultra,
plus
and
ultra.
Like, well, let me rewatch this just for a quick second. Yeah.
And then they kiss.
Yep, that's pretty much what happens.
Oh, and then they kiss, right?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay, that's good. That's a little weird. He's underage, so I don't like to. How old is All Might supposed to be? Isn't he supposed to be like in his 40s or something?
There's no exact number, but he's probably like 40. Like,
yeah, I'd say in his 40s.
Because he's not old, obviously. He's not like Gran Torino, but he's like, you know, like middle aged.
Well, if he was old, then he'd be small. That's how it goes in My Hero Academia, at least.
Yeah, Gran Torino used to be like a tall, like somewhat kind of slender guy.
Yeah.
In the flashback we saw.
I guess All Might's starting to get small. Like whenever he poofs out of his big mode.
Yeah.
he's a little guy.
I'm gonna miss Big All Might though. Like this is probably the last like anime episode, unless they have like cut like flashbacks.
Well, don't worry, they'll make another movie.
Yeah, well, that's why they made the movie take place between seasons 2 and 3. From what I heard, the creator, and the director were like, yeah, we want to have at least one movie with All Might still like big, so they put it then, and it makes sense because obviously everyone loves him, and you don't want to like just go into the future where you'll never see him in a movie. So,
yeah, exactly.
Expect a lot of All Might in the movie, which is awesome.
Cool. That's good.
One last point I want to make: the title of the episode, "Save the World with Love."
Yeah.
It's actually kind of an interesting title because it kind of fits well with the movie.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I didn't want to like say that before we got through because it's a fun way to wrap it up.
Oh, okay. That's good.
Yeah, like obviously I won't say like stuff that happens, but love in general is a theme kind of in the movie.
It's like a Disney movie.
Yeah, minus the punching and screaming and the.
Oh yeah, the punching. And, wait, minus that from Disney movies. Because that's my favorite part when I like Cinderella when they start having that battle.
when that one girl in the ballroom called Cinderella fat while she's dancing, and she's like, "What'd you say?" Like slaps the glass slipper in the ground.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and she shanks her. That was weird. That goes
Baka go on her, just like
she gives her a
die.
She does a Reaper ult.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's all Overwatch.
The prince is like, "Honey, listen, this is our night. You only have till midnight. What are you doing?"
Murdered the entire ball. And that's why the stepmother did not let her out. She's insane. She's a psycho. Now that's a Cinderella I'd watch because I don't. I think Cinderella's a dumbass Disney movie. That's a hot take from me.
Everything prior to Little Mermaid, I'm not a huge fan of.
I love Sleeping Beauty.
That's just me personally. I love Disney.
I love Disney too. They're good boys.
I will say I did like Jungle Book because the monkey.
I love Jungle Book. Oh yeah, King Louis.
The King of the Swingers. Yeah, I love that.
The King of the Swingers glow, the jungle.
People call that song racist, which is
dummies.
Well,
I call it funny.
To be fair, Walt Disney himself was a racist, but I don't think he made the song racist. So
no, he sung it. He didn't know.
Oh yeah, song. When he was suffering from his one, because that was the last movie he made. So he got surgery to remove one of his lungs, like around that time. So
that's a great time. He did that just so he sounded like King Louis.
Oh my god!
It wasn't because of lung cancer or anything. He did it because he wanted to sound like King Louis. It's true. That's true facts. Look it up. Disney Vault.
Wait for us to end this episode with cancer when we're talking about Save the World with Love.
Well, Disney was a monster. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
But he made some really good stuff. So you know what? Gotta look at the bright side sometimes.
Yeah. He was just slightly secretly racist. That's all.
Yeah, slightly. Everybody knows it. Slightly. That's why they'll never make a Disney movie where like they address his racism, like that Saving Mr. Banks movie.
Yeah,
didn't address it even a little bit.
I mean, he was never like outwardly so. It was just more like it was kind of like sly offhand things that he did. But yeah. It was a different time. Things were different back then.
Yeah, but we can all learn from love.
Yep, gotta save the world with what, Gore?
Love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love.
Yeah. By murdering yourself in a bank.
I want that Plus Ultra shirt.
I want a Plus Ultra shirt. I want a shirt that has like all my favorite characters. Deku, All Might, Jiro. Yeah, Jiro. I just want a shirt with Jiro on it.
I do want a shirt that says King Lord Explosion Murder. There's a shirt that actually says that, and I think it's my favorite shirt ever. I do
Lord
want that.
Explosion Murder? Is that Bakugo?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Remember when they're picking their hero names, and he's like, "I'll be King Explosion Murder." She's like, "No, that's not going to work." And then he rewrites it, Lord Explosion Murder.
Yeah, I do actually. I remember that.
And most fans like Lord versus King. So
yeah, Lord.
It just sounds better.
It does sound better, Lord. Yeah. So
you ever see South Park? Lord.
Oh yeah, Lord. All
right.
South Park now. Yeah. So anyway, I hope everybody knows that you can solve everything with love. Disney was a racist, and
reserve your tickets for the movie.
Yeah, there you go. Make sure you get those tickets.
By now, they're probably mostly sold out, I would think.
I looked at my theater a couple days ago. There was still some tickets left in the reserve seating one. I couldn't tell the other one because it didn't have reserve seating, so I have no clue.
I'm actually kind of sad because no theater other than the one I didn't want to go to has added it yet, so I don't think they will be.
Yeah, so I might have to go to the other one.
Yeah, I'm going to be out of town most of the days it's here, though, so I'll have to see it. Hopefully, I'll be here the last day, so hopefully by then most people have seen it. It'll be kind of quiet. And it's on a Saturday, so maybe not, but it's around noon, showtime, so
I think it should be good.
Yeah.
No one cares about My Hero. Everybody.
Worst case scenario, though, I've already seen it, so if I can't, we'll still do our discussion on it. So
yeah, everybody will be seeing I don't know, The Nun at that point. No one cares.
I heard that was average.
Yeah, no, I heard that sucked, and that'll be gone by the time My Hero. I don't even know what movie will be out while My Hero's out. Venom. Everybody's seeing Venom.
Is Venom out that soon?
I think so. It comes out like the 5th. I don't know if that's the last day.
Oh no, this one. Well, the last day of this is the second.
The second. Oh well, you're fine then. You're good. I don't know what comes out then. You'll be.
Venom better be rated R. Let me just say.
Yeah, Venom better be rated R. I mean, we have less than a month, and they haven't announced if it's gonna be rated R.
I was promised someone getting eaten in half in that movie, and I better see someone get eaten in half.
Yeah, I want to see a face. I want to see a turd in the wind, or whatever that trailer, whatever he said in that trailer. I don't even know. Don't even know what that means, but I want to see it.
Yeah.
Okay? Anyway, we should.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should end it. So
we'll just end it at like a really random thing, like just wash your ears in the bath.
Yeah, wash your ears, scrub your back,
eat some veggies,
and watch your back.
Yeah, you better watch it. Bakugo's coming for your ass.
Yeah, I'm coming too.
And Bakugo's coming for him, so it's just like a chain of murder.
Yeah, you gotta see some messed up shit in a minute. Anime character murdering a human.
That'd be scary.